Hi guys, my name is Vivek and in this video tutorial we are going to talk about reference partitioning in Oracle. Guys, if you have not seen my first few videos on partitioning, I will highly recommend that you complete them first. You will be able to appreciate this video in a better manner once you have completed those videos. I have another request. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, please go ahead and do it now so that you get a notification as soon as I upload a new video. Now let's go ahead and understand what is reference partitioning. Reference partitioning concept was introduced lately in Oracle 11G release. So if your database is running on a version prior than that, it will not support reference partitioning. Reference partitioning allows the partitioning of two related tables on the basis of referential constraint. What exactly that means? We do reference partitioning on tables where a child-parent relationship exists. We define reference partitioning on the basis of parent table, and the child table inherits the partition key from the parent table based on foreign key relationship. Now what exactly this means, we will understand in a moment through a real practical example in layman language. But the basic advantage that we gain from reference partitioning is improved performance using partition wise join, and here we don't replicate the partitioning key because we establish that relation using the foreign key relationship, and we will learn that how with our orders table. So this is my parent order table. Here I have 4 columns and I have partitioned this particular table using the range strategy on order date. I have created 3 partitions. Partition Y1, which will actually store the data which lies in 2015, and before that Y2 will have data corresponding to 2016 and Y3 will have data corresponding to 2017. Guys, the important point to note here is that I have explicitly defined primary key on order ID. That means every order will be unique in my order table. If I don't explicitly specify the primary key and foreign key relationship and go ahead and try to create reference partitioning on my child table, it's going to throw an error saying that it cannot create reference partitioning because the referential integrity constraint does not exist. So here I have created range partitioning on the basis of order date column, and order ID is my primary key which I will be using as foreign key in my child table. So as soon as I go ahead and execute this DDL statement, Oracle is going to create 3 partitions or 3 segments on my disk, one for data before and in 2015, one for data in 2016 and one for data in 2017. Now I have my child table order items which actually contain the detail of all the items for a particular order. So the number of rows in ordered item will be significantly higher than the number of rows in my order table, because there is a possibility that as a part of a single order the customer bought 10, 20 or 50 items. So here we have a one-to-many relationship. For a single order ID we can have multiple order items. And if you see, we have explicitly established a foreign key relationship on our orders table on the column order ID. So here if you see, I have highlighted in bold and italic that I am using reference partitioning on my child table, and I am going to use my foreign key relationship to form a basis of that particular reference partitioning. Another important thing to note here is that I don't have the column order date here in my child table, but as soon as I go ahead and execute this particular DDL statement, it will go ahead and create 3 partitions or allocate 3 segments for my child table, and the partition strategy here as well will be same as the partition strategy of my parent table. So my child table will also be partitioned on the basis of range, on the basis of column order date, though it does not have that particular column, but it will use that foreign key relationship with the parent table to get that relationship. In layman terms, if we have to understand this further, so if as a part of a single order I bought 10 items and that particular order was placed in 2015, all those 10 rows will go ahead and get stored in this particular partition 2015. If I placed 5 order in 2016 and I bought 300 items as a part of that. All those 300 items will be stored in this particular segment, and the same goes for 2017 as well. If I have placed 100 orders and 1000 items have been purchased as a part of that, all those items will be stored in this particular segment. So though we don't have order date column in our child table, still we are using that particular column to do our partitions implicitly, as the key has been inherited from the parent table. So here we are gaining two important advantages. I don't have to duplicate my order date key both for my parent and child table. It's implicitly inheriting that key from the parent table. And the major advantage that I'm gaining from reference partitioning is partition wise join. For example, I want to go ahead and retrieve the details of aggregated data in 2017. I will go ahead and start with my parent table. It will only select the partition corresponding to 2017, and for my child table as well, it will not select any data from 2015 or 2016. The only partition that it will consider is 2017, thus implementing partition wise joins and significantly improving the performance. There is one challenge with reference partitioning in Oracle 11g. If I have interval partitioning on my parent table, I cannot go ahead and create reference partitioning on my child table. If you see, everything remains same. I still have my order tables that has the primary key order ID. It's partitioned on range on order dates. We have created 3 partitions. The only additional line that I have added here is I'm using interval partitioning, and as soon as I go ahead and insert a row for 2018, it's going to automatically create a new partition for me. But if I try to go ahead and create reference partitioning on my child table where I have used interval partitioning on my parent table, it's going to give me an error saying that partitioning method of the parent table is not supported. This has actually been resolved in Oracle 12c, but if you are on 11g and you have partitioned your parent table using the interval partitioning strategy and you try to partition your child table using reference partitioning, you will get this particular error ORA 14659 that the partitioning method of the parent table is not supported. So let's quickly recap what we have discussed as of now. Parent-child relationship is very common in warehouse. Reference partitioning allows partition-wise joins without replicating the partition key. So as we saw in our previous example, that though the child table did not have the order date column, still it inherited that column from the parent table and the partitions were created on the basis of that. Guys, you can go ahead and query your user tab partitions table to verify this. You will have the same number of partitions created in your child table as well, and the basis of partitioning strategy will be same as the parent table. Another thing I mentioned is that you need to explicitly mention the primary and foreign key relationship. If you don't explicitly specify a primary foreign key relationship and try to implement reference partitioning, you will get an error ORA 14655 that the reference partitioning constraint is not found. So even though logically you know that you have a parent-child relationship here, where the order ID is unique and you can have multiple order items corresponding to an order ID in your child table, if you don't specify that explicitly to your Oracle optimizer and if you try to create reference partitioning on your child table, it's going to give you an error saying that the reference partitioning constraint is not found. So guys, we have traveled a long way in our partitioning series. We still have couple of topics to discuss. We still have to discuss local and global index. And as we saw in today's tutorial that for interval partitioning, reference partitioning is not supported in Oracle 11g, which has been taken care of in 12c. So there are certain other things that they have changed in Oracle 12c. What exactly are those? What exactly enhancements are being done as a part of Oracle 12c release? We will see that in another tutorial. Guys, if you have any comments or any queries regarding reference partitioning, please drop in a comment. Hopefully today's tutorial was informative and you gained something out of it. Thanks a lot for watching this particular tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.